2.5 million, 1 million, 14.7 million. Sora 2 videos are going viral on all the social media platforms right now. And the cool thing about Sora 2, if you didn't already know, is you can create them with yourself. The videos with you using their Cameo feature. Now, I've created this AI workflow, which we're going to go through how to build in this video, which will automatically post these videos, but of your Sora 2 Cameo to the platforms of your choice. So I've posted one here 2 days ago that got 34K views. I took inspiration from this one right here. Let's check it out.
You're everywhere, not the shoelaces. Guys, hey, all right, back up. More of you? Where are you coming from? I can't move. Okay, gentle. Ah, no, not the shirt collar. I surrender. You're so many. Help, I'm going on. Okay, oh, you're everywhere.
There you go. In this video, we're going to walk through how you can build this n8n workflow for yourself. We're going to walk through any costs associated. And I'm also going to show you how you can set up your Cameo using your phone, because you will need to use your phone to set it up for it to actually work. This video is part 3 to the Sora 2 series. So if you've already built this workflow, all you'll need to do is change the prompts, which we'll run through in this video, and set up the Sora 2 app if you haven't already, which I will also show you how to do. Now, in case you're wondering if this stuff actually works, I'm here in my school community, and as you can see, here are all the results from some of my students. So this is Nathaniel here. In his first day, he got over 50K views on automated YouTube shorts with Sora 2. And this is from Maruis here, who is applying for monetization through YouTube after posting or he didn't post it, the system posted it, AI video to YouTube Shorts, which got over 5 million views. And here is that short on his channel at 7.9 million now, actually. And he's got some Sora 2 ones going automatically as well here, as you can see. So really quick, before we get started, let's just go over the costs of each run through the workflow. So every time it runs through, it's going to cost maybe like 1 or 2 cents, not even, with the chat model, which is essentially like it's kind of like ChatGPT, the API, for the credits to be used for the prompts that will be generated. So that's only a few cents. Then there is the video itself. Each video is only going to cost about 15 cents per Sora 2 video. Then we're going to need the Sora 2 app on our phone. So I'm going to switch this to camera. So you can see I'm here in the Sora 2 app. In the comments, I am going to leave an invite code for Sora 2. Now, all I ask is that when you redeem it on your app, okay, it'll look like this. You see this in the top right? The camera isn't focusing, but in the top right, there'll be an invites button, okay? Now, this code is expired, by the way. What I encourage you to do is comment the code that you get underneath my comment, and then we can repeat that process so that everyone gets a code, okay? And if you post your own comment and you get the most codes, I'll pin your comment as well, okay? Now, once you are on the app, now keep in mind, if you will need to use a VPN if you aren't in the United States or Canada, okay? Once you're on the app, it's going to prompt you to do a Cameo. All you have to do is just talk to it. It's going to say, like, say the number is 73, and you just rotate your head like this. It's pretty easy. Then there is an edit Cameo button right there. When you make your Cameo, you have to make sure that it is set to everyone, okay? It's pretty self-explanatory on the app. Again, just make sure that it's set to everyone on the app when you save it. That way it's public and anyone can use it, including this system, which in here, all we'll have to change is this to your username that you have selected. So your username is at the top of the app. At the top up here, mine is Cohen.agi. And all you have to do once you make your Cameo is change this right here, and it will automatically put it in to all of the videos that are created. Now, again, I will leave a comment with a code once you open the app, and in my comment, I'll make it easy to understand. I'll put the step-by-step for how to set up Sora 2. Now, lastly, we will need to use Blotato. So Blotato is a content engine that also allows you to post to multiple platforms at once. So Blotato is $29 per month, but it gives you 20 social media accounts that you can super easily just connect to Blotato. And once you connect it, you can auto post to all of the platforms of your choice. So right here, I have TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And if we have a look, there is 9 different social media platforms. So Blue Sky, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Threads, whatever you want, you can automatically post using all of the content inside n8n. And Blotato is important because setting up the API for each separate platform can be annoying and tedious, and sometimes it won't work. And Blotato's API is trusted with the social media platforms, which means that your videos won't be shadow banned when you post them. You don't have to worry about it. As long as your account isn't brand new and it's warmed up a little bit, when you post videos through Blotato, they will get reach. You can find a link to Blotato in the description. And with that out of the way, let's get straight into the tutorial. Now, really quick before we get started, in order for these Blotato nodes to actually work, we have to go to the admin panel and enable verified community nodes because they are community nodes, but they're verified by n8n. So we'll click on admin panel on the left over here. Once you click on admin panel, this little cloud, click on manage, scroll down and turn on this toggle, verified community nodes. Make sure you are on the latest stable right here, and then click on save changes. Then you can come back to dashboard, hit open instance, and you're all done. Now, once you are in a new workflow in n8n, I am just going to download the workflow from my community here so that we can follow along. I'm going to import it just like that. There we go. Now, the first step is a schedule trigger. So in the top right up here, just click plus, search for schedule. So we're running it on a schedule trigger, so it will go off however many times per day that we want. So by default, let's just do once per day. Okay. And then click on plus right here and search for code. Don't worry, you don't need to know how to code. This is for the randomness of the videos that are generated. So click on JavaScript right here, code in JavaScript. And all we're going to do is we're going to copy this from the random node. So it's going to produce a random number. And then the number that's randomly produced is going to determine which video is made by the script agent. So I'm going to open this up here. And I'm just going to copy this. Now, you can screenshot this. And if you put this into ChatGPT and say, give me the code, it will give you this code. And then you can copy it from ChatGPT and place it into your node in the workflow. So once you've screenshotted that and copied it, make sure to delete everything in your JavaScript node and just go Control-V and paste that into there. And I'm actually going to name this random. There we go. Now, after that, we are going to add a AI agent. And the AI agent is going to actually produce our scripts. So click plus, click AI agent. Change this to define below so that we have a prompt that we can actually give it. And the first step is to give it a chat model so that it can actually work. So I'm going to click on the plus right here and click on Anthropic chat model. Now we have to connect our credential so that it can actually connect to their server. So I will leave a link in the description to the Claude console. Once you are signed in, this is where you can add your credit, okay? So API keys on the left over here, then click on API keys and click on create key up here in the top right. That will give you your API key that will authenticate Claude. Then on billing right here, you can just add a little bit of credit, maybe like $5, $10. And then every time it runs through, it will just use a small amount of that credit. And this allows us to essentially use Claude, which is like ChatGPT, if you don't already know, through n8n. So once you have your API key, again, from right here, after you create it, you can bring that into n8n, click create new credential, paste it right there, and hit save, and you're all done. I am going to use Claude Sonnet 4.5. And next, we are going to go to the tool right here, click here, Search for think tool. This just allows it to process better and think in between responses. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into the AI agent. I'm going to name it as prompter, it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to go here and go system message. So this is the training for the agent. I'm going to delete that, change this to expression. And what we're going to do is I'm going to actually copy from the script agent over here. I'm going to copy all of this text, okay? Now, again, you can screenshot this and put this into ChatGPT to get this text. I'll let you screenshot that. And here is the bottom part of that text. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste it into the system message. I'm going to open it up with this button and paste it in right there. Now, let's really quickly go through what this is. So it's going to give you a title, a description, and the prompt itself for the AI Sora 2 video. Now, what you have to change here is this. Right in the middle, right here, your username. So again, on the Sora 2 app, at the top, right there, that is your username that you have chosen. You're going to want to set it to that. So I'm going to do Cohen.agi, which is mine. And what you want to do now is if you scroll down, it's going to cycle through these videos, 1 through, I have 6 here right now. I put the primary person. So every time you write a prompt, if you put the primary person as you, as your reference, it will reference your username up here. So when the prompt comes out, instead of it saying the primary person, it'll be Cohen.agi in a hyper-realistic Minecraft world, and it'll generate some more text for the prompt. Now, you can actually add your own prompts here. I have a few here that were from viral videos that I found, but you can add your own. So you can go number 7, and you can type whatever you want, the primary person, whatever you want, right? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave it as is, 1 through 6. But if you are going to add more or take some out, there is an important note for having it work. So I'm going to exit out here. And I'm going to go into the randomness node. So there's 1 through 6. This is the number that it's going to output. Depending on how many are in there, you have to change the last number. So if you have 6, if you have 7, if you have 4, you need to make sure that this number is accurate. Then we're going to open the agent up again, and we're going to turn on require specific output format. Okay, I'm going to turn that on, and we're going to exit out of the agent for a second here, and we're going to enable an output parser. So this allows us, or it gives us 3 separate or more, as however many you want, 3 separate outputs that we can use later on in the workflow. So this way the prompt and the title is separated. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So if we click on output parser, this little plus, structured output parser, make sure you change this to define using JSON schema. Turn on autofix format. And for this right here, just delete that. And I'm going to go back into my output parser, open this up. Again, you can screenshot this with ChatGPT. Copy that. I'm going to paste it into here, into our workflow. And again, this is just going to make sure that it's organized into title, description, and prompt. Now we're going to connect this to Anthropic right here. And now I'm actually going to disable this really quickly. So you can click this little off button, and we're going to click execute workflow. The reason we do that is because sometimes when there's an error, this doesn't have a prompt in this case, it won't let the workflow run through. But if you disable it, it lets you run it through. So we can enable this now. And if we open up the agent, now that the previous nodes have run through on the left over here, we have options that we can use. So our random number generator generated us number 1. So we're going to write in the prompt for the AI agent, make a prompt for space. We're going to switch it to an expression so that it's dynamic, and we're going to drag this in right there. Now, as you can see, the result is make a prompt for 1. Now we can actually run this through and see what we get. All right, that is all done. Now, if we open this up, we have a title, Skydiving with My Howling Dog. We have a description and the prompt, GoPro footage of Cohen.agi. Cohen.agi is laughing and smiling with joy. And so if we open up our system message, if you remember here, the primary video type, number 1, is the GoPro footage of the primary person, GoPro footage of Cohen.agi, because we changed it right here within the guidelines to Cohen.agi. And you can make that anybody if you want. Anyone who has a public Cameo, you can put them in there, which is pretty funny. So that is how you set up the prompt agent. Now let's move on how to set up the video creation. Okay, so the first step is we're going to add a HTTP request. So click over here, HTTP. I'm going to name it create. So this is going to create the video. Now, the service we're going to be using is Key AI because they have the cheapest API usage for most video models. So once you are logged on to Key AI, the first thing you're going to need to do is go to billing and add some credit. You can go to billing on the left here. Once you add a little bit of credit, so each video is 30 credits. So if you add $5, that's, I'm not sure how many videos that is off the top of my head, but that comes out to about 15 cents per video. Then we'll get our API key after in just a second. But the other link in the description, key.ai/Sora2, will bring you here. And this is where we're going to access the API information to configure this node. So once you're on key.ai/Sora2, you're going to want to click on API right here. We're going to be on create task, and we're going to scroll down until we see request example. I'm going to click copy. We're going to go back into n8n. We're going to import curl right here. Control V, import. And once that is imported, what you can do is you can turn off send headers. And we're going to go back to the normal Key AI where we were before with the billing and everything. And once you've added your credits, again, we're going to go to API key on the left over here. Click on create API key. And then it's going to give you a key. Copy your key and bring that into n8n. Under authentication, go generic, header auth, click here, click create new credential. Now the name has to be exactly like this, authorization. Exactly like that with a capital A. The value, click expression over here, type bearer with a capital B, space, and then paste, Control V, your key in place right there after a space. Name it up here in the top left, Key AI, and then hit save. Once you save it, it'll be in your header auth right here, so you can just find it and click on it whenever you need it. Now, what we're going to need to do, I'm going to check my workflow here, and I'm going to open this up. So what this is the instructions for Key AI for what we want to be made. So if I go back into our node here, we actually don't need to change much. So I'm going to switch this to expression in our node. We're going to open this up with that little button there. And all we're going to change is we're going to change aspect ratio to portrait. And for the prompt, delete everything in between these two quotations right here. So it starts with a professor and ends with taking notes. Delete that and leave the two double quotes just like that. And then from your prompter agent from before, drag this in right in between those two quotes. And now that will come through on the right as the prompt for the video. That is everything done for this create video node. So now when this is executed, it's going to send a message to their server to create the video. So we can actually click play up here. We click that. It's going to send that message to their server. And if we go to Key AI and we click on logs on the left, make sure you're on market at the top. Here you can see the video is running. So while that's running, we're going to add a wait node. Click right here. Plus, search for wait. Click on wait. And the Cameo videos do take longer. So if I check the logs here. You can see the seconds on the left. 294. You know, I like to do, if we go back into n8n, I like to do about, you know, even 10 minutes. It's running in the background, so it doesn't really matter. It's better safe than sorry. For now, I'm going to set it to 1 second. Just for now, we'll change that after. You can click this note in the top right, add a little reminder. We'll come back because when we're executing the nodes afterwards, sometimes it will activate this one, and then you're waiting multiple times, which isn't useful. So we set that to 1 second. Again, we do have to come back and switch this to 600. But for now, we can just wait manually for this video in here be done, and we can just refresh in the top right until it says success. All right, so it looks like our video has been completed, 277 seconds. Let's check it out.
Look at you, buddy! You like it? That's amazing! Look at those flies!
Okay, not bad. It looks like the wolf is like part of my body there. Little glitch, but of course AI videos aren't perfect. But that is the system in motion. So now we need to retrieve this video. So I'm going to execute this wait node right here. And then we're going to add an HTTP request again to retrieve the video. So we're going to hit plus HTTP. Then we're going to come back to the other KeyAI/Sora2 website. And we're going to click on query task right here, get. Request example is here. Click on copy. Go back into n8n, import curl, control V, click on import. Then we're going to type get for the name. And we're going to scroll down and remove send headers. Turn that off. Authentication, generic, header auth, KeyAI from before, whatever you named it from before. And now, as you can see here for this value, just delete that for the task ID. The value, just drag it in from right here from the wait node, task ID. Drag that in. There you go. And now when we execute this, we click it. Here is our link. Right, here's the MP4 link right there. Okay. Now, finally, we need to add Blotato. So we're going to hit plus. We're going to search for Blotato. Click on Blotato and then click on install. Make sure that it is installed. If you're not seeing it here, I have at the beginning of the video, I showed how to actually get this to show up in here. So just go back to the beginning and then it will show up if it's not showing up right now. So the first thing we're going to do is click on upload media. Okay. Upload media. And I'm actually going to open Blotato here. Now, what we are going to do is for the media URL right here, what we need is this URL, but it's in kind of all of this JSON here, so it's a little bit messy. So we need to use this specific, if we open my workflow I imported, this specific expression to kind of grab that URL out of the jumbled mess, I guess you could say. So I'm going to copy that. This will also be in the description. Okay. So I'm going to go into the Blotato node, paste that in. And as you can see, the result right here is the resulting URL. Perfect. Okay. Now we have to connect our Blotato account. So we're going to click Create New Credential. For the API key, once you are on Blotato, settings in the bottom left, click there. And then click on API. Once you've generated your key, click Copy API key and bring that into n8n. Paste it right here and hit Save. That is all done for that node now. Now you have to choose what platforms you want to be posted to. So we're going to hit plus, search for Blotato again, click on Blotato. Not showing up on, let me just see here, Create Post, click on Create Post. Okay. your account should be automatically connected. And then you have your platform right here. Now, really quick, I'm just going to exit out. If you want to do multiple, you just go click on it, Control C, Control V, and then you can just drag this into there, just like that. And then you can have your other platform by configuring it in here as well. But we're just going to do one for this example. So if I open this up now, let's say we want, Instagram. So for the account, notice how when I click that, it loads. In order for the account to show up here, we have to go onto Blotato, accounts right here, on accounts. And then you can click on all of these buttons to connect automatically. It makes it really easy. You can just connect your account. And then once it's connected, you are good to go and it will show up inside of n8n. So I've already connected my account. So I'm just going to go cohen.clone. And as you can see on the left, we don't have the input data because the last node hasn't been executed. So I'm going to execute that now. Okay, sometimes there's a little glitch. I just had to click cancel execution at the bottom and then it worked. So that's run through now. And if we go to our create post node, the text, if we go back to the prompter right here, description, we drag that in, this is going to be the caption for our Instagram video. So media URLs, this has to come straight from the past one from Blotato. It has to be this node. So we're going to drag in URL, database.blotato, as you can see the link right there. And that is everything for that. And keep in mind for things like YouTube, like if we open YouTube, make sure you enable this contains synthetic media, or if you're doing TikTok, is AI generated, because you might have issues if you don't disclose that to the platform. So now we can actually click on this and it will post to our Instagram. Okay, looks like another glitch. Sometimes when you click this, you gotta just click right here. An n8n thing. There you go. And now that has been posted to Instagram. Now before we check that out, I'm gonna delete this note and we're gonna set this wait to 600 seconds. And up here, this little active toggle, we can switch this on. So when you're ready, you can just switch this toggle on. Make sure you save the workflow. I'm gonna hit save. And then you can toggle on this active switch to have the workflow ready and going in the background, posting for you. And here is our video posted to my cohen.clone Instagram page. All good to go. It is a little bit of a weird video at the end there, but who cares? AI does that sometimes, obviously. But all you'll need to know now is make sure that you have enough credits on Key AI that will run out the fastest. And make sure you have enough on Claude, the Claude console, for the AI agent to actually work. And other than that, if you have enough credits for both of those things, this will run for you infinitely. And again, you can change how often in this trigger node right there. That is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. My free Telegram group is in the description if you want to stay up to date on all of these videos and the latest AI news. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.